सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपादं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमतास्युतिष्ठम् श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमतास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामिलकं च शिष्यं तं तोडकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वसिष्ठान्ते वसदृषिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरीतुल्यं निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवो भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः माया कल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतम् मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यभिमहायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये यस्यैव स्फुरणं सदात्मकमसत्कल्पार्थकं भासते साक्षात् तत्त्वमसीति वेदवचसा यो बोधयत्याश्रितान् यः साक्षात्करणाद् भवेन्न पुनरावृत्तिर्भवाम्भोनिधौ तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नानाचित्रघटोदरस्थितमहादीपप्रभाभास्वरं ज्ञानं यस्य तु चक्षुरादिकरणद्वारा बहिस्पन्दते जानामीति तमेव भान्तमनुभाति एतत्समस्तं जगत् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये देहं प्राणमपीन्द्रियानपि चलां बुद्धिं च शून्यं विदुः श्रीबालान्तजडोपमास्त्वहमिति भ्रान्ताभृशं वादिनः मायाशक्तिविलासकल्पितमहाव्यामोहसंहारिणे तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये राहुग्रस्तदिवाकरेन्दुसदृशो माया समाच्छादनात् सन्मात्रकरणोपसंहरणतः यो भूत्सुषुप्तः पुमान् प्रागस्वाप्समिति प्रबोधसमये यः प्रत्यभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये सोपाधिकरूपेण सविकल्पः निरुपाधिकरूपेण निर्विकल्पः इति. In the 30th verse of Ullasa, with the name and the form, that very same Paramatma appear to be with subject to modification, and without that, without any of these upadhis, Nam Rupatmakam Eva Jagat Satchidananda Rupaha Paramatma Nama Rupa Vilayane. So Nama Rupau, the Nama and Rupa are not there, which is here used as Vachya Vachaka. Vachya is form, Vachakaha is the name. Vachaka Rupena Rupatvat Pachyavachaka rupatva savikalpopi sannayam dehadinam vyapohena deha prana mana indriyanam vyapohena sambhavet nirvikalpakam. It becomes unmodified, one pure existence. So, here, having established that there is this presence of Paramatma, which is none other than Sanmatra, of the nature of pure existence, whose presence is known by Pratyabhijna during sleep, after sleep. This presence of the Paramatma, which is never absent, even in this time of sleep where all other things are withdrawn, self-knowing, self-shining self alone is there, thereby refuting the argument of the Buddhists that it is shunyam shanikam iti. Na shunyam cha shanikam asti atma sada sadachchidananda rupaha nityameva tat, and ever being, ever present, and Nama and Rupa Jagat alone is making the changes, and all changes belong to it. So here, one who recognizes it is the one is known as Jnani. Here quoting from Taittiriya Upanishad, the next verse, Asanneva bhavet vidvan asad brahmedi veda chet asti brahmedi chet veda santamenam tato viduhu asanneva sabhavati asad brahmedi vejate chet asti brahmedi chet veda santamenam tato viduridi. It's exactly the same. Quoting this from Taittiriya Upanishad, Asad Brahma iti yaha veti saha asad bhavati. In Tamil it's called Asad. Meaning, Asad means useless, stupid. Because he said Asad. What is Asad? Brahman Asad. Asanneva bhavet vidwan. Vidwan means here not the man of knowledge. Vidwan means yaha asad idiveti such a vidwan is to not be even considered as a vidwan also. Such an individual who considers or thinks that Brahman nasti. And what happens? Not that Brahman becomes absent, he becomes absent. How is it he becomes absent? That is said here, Dehadivyapohasya Sunya avasanatvat Shunya avasanatvat Katam Nirvikalpatmaka Siddhihi iti ashankya. When Deha etc. are already been eliminated by knowing that to be false, Shunya avasanatvat, what remains is only Swan Shunya will dawn there. Dehi bine. If we say in this room all the chairs are removed or no, all beings are removed, nobody is here. Kya hoga wahan pe? Shunya. No, space will be there. Even though incomprehensible, one cannot say Avakasham dadati iti akashaha sada asti eva yasmin sthite eva sarva vastunam astitvam. Sarva vastunam astitvam akashe. Akashe means not sky, space. So, Dehadi vyapohasya shunya avasanatvat kadam nirvikalpatmaka siddhihi. How is that nirvikalpatmaka atmanah siddhihi? How is that possible? Iti ashankya. If the doubt comes, vicharapurvakam shrutya, by study of scriptures along with swavichar, atma vichar. So one who has inquired into that, nirvikalpatmaka satta nirdharanat, that's why sanmatra karanopasamharanatha. Sanmatra, pure existence is there. Nirvikalpatmaka satta nirdharanat ma eva ityaha. Ma evam. Ma evam na shunya avasanam. It is not shunya alone is there. Asanna iti. Yaha kobi asat nasti brahmedi chet veda saha abhi asan eva. If somebody says it's a Brahman nasmi, it is as good as saying aham nasmi. Oh, wonderful. Are you there? No, I am not there. I am absent. Who is saying? Who is saying I am? What are you saying? I am absent. So asan eva sabhavati, meaning what? I am not. I am not. If anybody says I am not, what will you call him? Avidyamana eva bhavati. He becomes absent. Not that Brahman becomes absent. Brahmanaha eva atmatvat. Because Brahman alone is one's own self. It cannot be objective and say Brahman nahi hai. Arre aap nahi ho. If you say Brahman nahi hai, so then you become absent. It is as good as saying I am not there. Satya nastitve swasyeva nastitvam. Tasya brahmanaha nastitve swasya eva nastitvam apadat. Nastitva apadat. Because by saying Brahman is not there, actually you are denying your own being. Spashtam anyat. So finally it is established that astitvam, sanmatrakatvam is brahmanaha swarupam, karana upasamharanatah yadasti sushupti samaye swayam jyoti swayam janadi swaprakashaka atma sada asti eva na shunyatvam kadachit. At no time there is really absence. Absence also is objectifiable from the standpoint of Brahman. Alright, so this way, this verse number 6 has been explained very well. Rahugrasta divakarendra sadrsho maya samachadanat sanmatra karanopasamharanatah yobhut sushupta puvan pragasvap samiti prabodha samaye yapratyabhignayate tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye namayidam Sri Dakshinamoorty. All right. Now, you won't leave the Purvabakshi. Purvabakshi is given by one only created to just counter the arguments that are possibly would come. Here, Madhusudana Saraswati also. I call him Nanubai because no, he starts. He always starts with no, wait. So here, of course, in Gurudev's, in Shankaracharya's Bhashya, he starts with no, wait. So here, as a counter-argument, Ullasa itself says, that is, as an intro to the next verse. Why the next verse is important or required if it is established that Brahman Sada Asti, Nirvikalpaka Rupena. So your question is, the new term that it is used here, pratyabhijna, recognition. See, is recognition a praman? That pramana means prama-karanam pramanam pramiyate. Anena. So by which a thing is known. So now pratyaksha pramana is there, which we do not need to explain. It is direct perception. And based upon direct perception alone, all our other pramanas are built. Anumana, upamana, arthapatti, anupalabdhi, ityadi. Except Shraddha Pramana. Shraddha Pramana, Veda Pramana, Shruti Pramana. That need not be Pratyaksha. Now, here Pratyabhijna Kaha Pramanaha. So that's why the beginning of the question here, verse number 1, an introduction to the next verse. Pratyabhijna Baladatma Sthayi Nirdaryate Yadi Kanama Pratyabhijnesha Kimva Tasyascha Karanam. Kanama Pratyabhijna Esha. Esha, feminine, obviously. So Pratyabhijna. Kanama. What is this nature of this, or what is this Pratyabhijna? And Kimva Tasya Prayojanam. Kimva Tasyascha Tayojanam. Kimva Tasyaha Prayojanam. Cha is added in another version. What is its use or utility? Karanam is written in the another version. Tasyascha Karanam Kim. Here Prayojanam Kim. So what is the purpose of this Pratyabhijna? In a Karanam, when it is used, Tasya Kam Karanam. Here it should be understood as Karanam, not a Hetu Prayojanam. Purpose. Karanam can have two meanings. One is purpose, another is Hetu. Kim Karanat. When you ask, what is the reason, what is the purpose, also is correct. Or you can say, Karanam Kim, Hetuhu Kim, Moolam Kim. So, Pratyabhijna Balat, by the very term that you used, Pratyabhijna, and using it effectively, Tad Balat, using it by its strength, Atma Sthayi Nirdharyate. Yadi Atmanaha Astitvam Nirdharyate. Yadi, in case, if you are trying to establish the existence of Brahman through the term Pratyabhijna, which you used very effectively, powerfully for, that is the reason why a person can recollect his experience of sleep. That is why you have used the term. But is it Pratyaksha? Is it a Pramana? Of what kind of a Pramana is that? Indriyartha Sannikarsham Matra Janya Jnana Vishesha Pratyaksham. So here, Indriyartha Sannikarshamatra Janya Jnana Vishesha. What is that which is called Pratyaksha Pramana? Direct perception. Direct perception is that which is known as by the senses in its proximity, whatever is there, as objectifiable. Na Pratyabhijna Tata Vida. Pratyabhijna which you are using, it cannot be Pratyaksha. It's not a direct perception because sense organs and minds are all withdrawn at that stage. So it is not a pratyaksha pramana. Tasya samskarasya api karanatvat. So pratyaksha for that matter can be used in any time to prove a thing's existence to anyone. It requires the prior knowledge of it, of something, isn't it? If I saw something, if I've seen something before, then you say, yes, this is that. So pratyaksha is supported by purvajnana. Now, atah pratyaksham tavan na bhavati pratyabhijna. Therefore, it is not like this. Pratyabhijna is not like that. It is neither objectifiable directly, it is not perceiving something, nor it is supported by a memory of that before. Now let us look at Anumana, Arthapati and all other pramana, because they are all depending upon pratyaksha. Anumanadi shu asyaha prasanga eva nasti. Cannot even bring it there. Artham, why? Artha sambrogasyapi karanatvat. Artha samprayoga is a word used here which is to explain that others require a relationship of cause and effect. For example, anumana, anumiyate iti anumana. Anumiyate means, word means here to follow. What is already known is used for a thing to postulate. Postulate means to come to a logical conclusion or inference. Artha apatti and anumana both require a cause and effect relationship. Even anupalabdhi also requires that. If I see outside everything is wet, which I have not heard or seen rain happening, but I can guess or infer that it had rained because I know when it rains, it is all wet. This I have experienced before. Based upon that, prayoga takes place here. And therefore, here in the pratyabhijna, there is no, that relationship is not there. For not knowing the self, not knowing the existence of the self before, and coming to infer that I might have slept, then it is anumana pramana. Just because you are absent in one particular, see, if I was not there in a party, let us say, what happened in that party I will definitely would not know unless I am reported by somebody. When next day somebody asked, did you go to the party? No. What happened there? What is my answer there? I don't know. I don't know. Why? I was not there. Where anumana pramana is not like that. You don't say I don't know. I know that it has rained. Why? Because I know that even though I have not seen it raining, but by the very fact that it is wet, I can assume, I infer, because only rain can bring about such a wetness. So when a person wakes up in the morning and says, I slept well, it is not pratyaksha. He was not there to see it. Nor he can assume, he can only assume he was not there. Why do you say that it is, how is this that because I was absent, there was somebody, something was there? How do you assume that? It can be one's own imagination. It's only kalpana only. I slept well is not necessarily a provable fact. It's personal experience. No, how can you prove? How can you prove that you were there to sleep, to experience that sleep? What is the proof for that? So the argument put on by the Purvapakshi or the Buddhists here, saying that Anumana Pramana, Arthapatti, Anupalapti, Pratyaksha, of course, we negated meaning itself. Tasmat na pratyabhijna atmanah stayitve pramanam. So, naapi swatantramidam pramanantaram. Not you cannot take it as another independent pramana by itself, because traditionally pratyabhijna is not a pramana. And you cannot go on adding some new pramanas on without any basis on this. And tasmat na pratyabhijna atmanah stayitve pramanam. Therefore, we will not consider pratyabhijna as a means of knowledge to establish the existence of the self during the sleep. That means in the sleep everything is absent, including whatever you call it as self. That is only shunyam. So this argument, etat pariharaya, to avoid this kind of, or to answer to this question, uttara shlokam avatarayati. The next two verse is taken up. बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रदादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानम् अहमिति अन्तःस्फुरन्तं तदा सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजताम् यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदम् श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रतादिषु तदा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तास्वनुमर्तमानमहमित्यन्तःस्फुरन्तं सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदम् श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. A simple translation is, of course, the last line remaining the same. Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. To that Dakshinamurti, my salutation, who is the Guru Murti, who yaha kaha Guruhu yaha swa-atmanam prakati karoti. Yaha, he who swa-atmanam, one's own self, prakati karoti. So one's own self, not necessarily Dakshinamurtihe swarupam or swatmanam, sarvasya swatmanam. Sarvasya atmanam prakati karoti. Sarvasya atmanam swa-atmanam iti prakati karoti. One who is declaring, establishing that nature of the self or being the self is. But especially to whom? Obviously not to any stranger. Bhajatam prakati karoti. Bhajatam. Bhajatam means those who have worshipping, those who are surrendering, those who have submitted to him. Obviously, to receive knowledge, you have to submit, surrender. Gurudev used to say, water flows from the higher level to the lower level. Unless you become submissive, low, the knowledge will not flow. You stand up above the teacher. Chalo, batao. Pehle beto. So that's why Upanishads, sit down. Upa, samipe, ni, niche, shut. Shut means to sit down, not shut up. Shut is to sit down. Sat sidati. So sitting closer to the teacher and listening to him with great faith. And what is that self? Antaspurandam sada ahamiti. So Atma, Paramatma is ahamaham sada spurantam, antaspurantam. One which is continuously throbbing within oneself. When? Sada. Always. In all conditions. Balyadishu. From the state of human body's existence as Balyavastha, Kumaravastha, Yogavastha, Vruddhavastha, Madhyamavastha, Illa Avastha. All these are all avasthas. In Tamil, avastha means such a situation, a crisis. So, sarvasu avastasu. And also, jagradadishu avastasu. State of everyday situation, of waking, dream, etc. Tata sarvasu avastasu api. In all conditions, vyavruttasu. In all these conditions, one which is continuously, persistently present there, anuvartamanam, following up without failing, ahamiti, aham iti. At all times as I. So that one is Swa Atma Tattam Prakati Karoti. So this is what is being spoken. And how does he do that? Mudraya Badraya. You're not speaking. Maunam Vyakya Prakatitam. Interesting. Maunam eva Vakya. Silence alone is his teaching. So, by showing the mudra, jnana mudraya, badra means jnanam here, auspicious, badraya mudraya, jnana mudraya with the sign of knowledge, prakati karoti. Tasmai Sri Gurumurti Namaidam Sri Dakshinamoorty. So, here, yaha bhajatam shishyanam swatmanam prakato karoti badraya, kaya badraya, kalyana karinya badraya, mudraya. That which is one which is causing great auspiciousness, welfare to these shishyas who have surrendered to him. So, Vyakyana Mudra Pradarsanena. So, by that one which reveals the knowledge, Shishyanam Swatma Tattvam Sakshat Karayati. Swatma Tattvam Sakshat Karayati. Sakshat Karayati, causal here. Making it available for the Shishyas to realize. Sakshat Karayati. Tasmai Sri Gurumurtayi iti anvaya. Kim Lakshanam Swatmanam. What is the nature of this Atman, the self? Sada sarvada ahamidi antaspurantam. Ahamidi pratyaya rupena sharirantaspuratam. As the inner self, sharira pratyak rupena sharira antaspurantam prakashamanam ityartha. That which shines, that which is continuously shining as I. Edaduktam bhavati aham iti anidam chidatmani tadatmena adyastam avidya karyam antakaranam uchyate. So what is antakarana? Antakarana is none other than that which has been superimposed upon that self as an entity other than aham. Aham anidam chidatmani tadatmena adyastam avidya karyam. Obviously, even antakaranas are avidya karyam only. For anything other than the self said to be only a false presence which is superimposed. So that is antakaranam is also that which is apparently created as in the proximity of the self, mayakritam. Tacha aham iti evam akaraya swavritya stula deha paryantam prasarpati. That very aham alone is which has been transmitted as though through the antakarana, throughout the body, prasarpati, stula deha paryantam swavritya prasarpati. By its own presence as consciousness, it spreads and envelops up to the body, physical body. Tadacha swa adhyasta ahankara atmana avabhasamanameva atmanam. This very self-consciousness which is presently appearing as the individual ego, that's what the individuality is. The individuality is tadatma janyam, and it is born out of anatmani atma iti tadatmena janitam. So its presence is none other than the wrong identification with the not self, and that one avabhasamanam eva atmanam ahankara gata idam amsha apohena. Ahankara gata idam amsha apohena. So the idam means this. Yatyat idam iti jayede tat sarvam anityam mithya jadam. And so when we recognize the stula, sukshma, sharirani, all these are idam eva na aham bhavati kadachit. Iti jnanena amsha apohena. Idam amsha apohena. In the removal of that idam alone, ahamidam pada bhikyaman vaham ahamilina kepyalaya sattaya. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi has very clearly pointed out that idam, when it is removed, ahamilina ke, in that when we have the wrong identification as aham, which is actually idam only. Idam means this. This means away from me, other than me, not me, jadam. In this way, apohena vivichya, discriminating, swam swabhavikam brahmarupam purnamatmanam prakatikaroti. So as you know, this very symbol is Atma Aham. Yat sarvam anityam jatam idam. So this is the point here which is shown in the Chinmudra. Presently this is ego which is surrendering to Atman. Realization of that removes the identification away from the body, mind and intellect, to be just to keep it as a classification. So what remains is good. Sure. In India there is a petrol which is pure for sure. I think Indian oil or something. So that alone remains. That's why it says, Tatra Viveka Prakaram. What is that? Atmanam Prakatikarosi Tatra Viveka Prakaram. How to discriminate that? Darshayan, showing. Atmanam Vishinashti is explaining the nature of the self and how Viveka or Vichara can lead you to that. And that is spoken in this verse. Balyadishu api iti. Balya, Kaumara, Yauvana, Vardakeshu, in the condition of being a child, a young grown person, youth and old. Tada Jagrada Swapna Sushuptishu, also in the waking, dream and deep sleep. Tada Anyasu api sarvasu, in all other conditions as well. Murcha, Tura, Swastya, Asaswa, Niswa, Adi, Aneka Avastasu. So in the state where there is unconsciousness, Murcha, and Murcha, Chatura means being alert. Swastya, Aswastya meaning unhealthy. And Saswa being one with oneself. Niswaswa, Niswa meaning not being with oneself, meaning in a state of probably in an unconscious, probably unaware of oneself. Aneka avastasu kim lakshmanasu says vyavrittasu. In all the various perception, pradipatyaya kalam, in all conditions, in all perceptions, pradipatyaya kalam, binnasu anuvartamanam, in all various varieties of conditions, binnasu, different, anuvartamanam, constantly present, abhinnam, undivided, aham akara anurakta dehendriyadehe aneka vida parinamavatah sarva avastasya sada ekarupah aparinamanah san avabhasakah chidananda advaya brahmarupah atma ahamasmi iti janata iti shishyan bodhayantam. So in all these conditions which are apparently different, but in that also abhinnam, undivided, and at the same time aham akara anurakta. So because based upon the aham alone, connected to that alone, deha indriyadehe aneka vida parinamavatah, appearing as the consciousness, pervading and acting as life in body, mind, senses, etc., apparently modifying sarvavastasya sada ekarupaha, but remaining in all conditions in one nature only, aparinamamanaha, parinamamanaha, which not undergoing any change, san avavasakaha, but at the same time illuminating all of them, chidananda rupam, chidananda advaya brahma rupaha, of the nature of non-dual consciousness, atma aham asmi iti janata. come to know that one's own self as that. Iti Shishyan Bodhayantam Tam Gurumurtam Sri Dakshinamurtim Aham Mande. So that I salute and worship that Dakshinamurti. So Namayidam Dakshinamurtaye. This is the essence, basic essence of this verse. This is to say that it is not too far away for your own personal experience in the waking, dream, deep sleep, and in the state of when you are young, old, whatever, those conditions also, in all those conditions, that which undergoes no change is the one which is being indicated by the Chinmudra, by Dakshinamurti to those students who have surrendered to him, advising them to realize that. To that teacher, my salutation. This is a basic essence of that particular verse. But then, obviously, explanation needed. Edaduktam bhavati, though the Ullasa begins here. Bādasya kasyachit purvam Vasamanasya sampratam Soyamityanusandhanam Pratyabhijnanamuchyate. You ask the question, how Pratyabhijna is a pramana? Now, what is Pratyabhijna? Let us explain. Ka Pratyabhijna first. Ka nama Pratyabhijna iti kim prashnaha krutaha uta akshepaha iti purvavadi prashtavyaha. Tatra tatradyasya uttaramaha. So the answer to that question, what is this Pratyabhijna? So now, here, kasyachit padarthasya purvam kvachit bhatasya avagatasya kasyachit at some point of time kasyachit padarthasya, for some object, purvam kvachit bhatasya, earlier what is known to exist, avagatasya sampradam, that which is presently known, presently being present here in front of one, idanim vasamanasya, now it is seen or being known to be there presently, avagamya manasya so ayam iti samanadikaranyena yat anusandhanam tad pratyabhijnanam uchyate. Well, simply put, recognition is none other than becoming aware of an object or a thing earlier seen at some other time or some other place, somewhere, present here in front of me, knowing that alone is the same one which was seen before. This, when you say this is that is called Pratyabhijna to begin with. So earlier what is seen or known to have existed, and same alone is presently being seen and understood to be there when you recall that earlier experience and also understand it is the same as this, is none other than that alone is this, then that is called Pratyabhijna. So the word is recognition. Now there are many questions that may arise, one by one he will take up. And first one is, the one which is seen before, Soyam Devadattaha. So Tattvamasi also it is the same. Soyam Devadattaha Saha Ayam Devadattaha. So who is Devadatta? The one whom I saw some other place in India, in one of the cities, let us say, in Hyderabad. I've seen him 10 years back, where he had a lot of hair and he was thin, young, all that. And the same guy, now I see him in LA, lost hair, fat, somewhat more darker than before, unhealthy looking. But then I know this is the same guy. What is that you are calling as same? Samanadikaranam. The word is Samanadikaranam, of the same being. What is the same being? Saha eva ayam. Saha and ayam both are of the Samanadikarana, which is of the same, what you call the case, gender and number. CNG we call it as, not natural gas or something. Case, number and gender. Case means not gone case, present only, present tense. Present case here, so to be understood, number is one only, ekaha, gender is male, and this present condition, present tense only, and pratama vibhakti. Case is here pratama vibhakti. So pratama vibhakti is used saha and ayam. So saha, that person whom I saw in Hyderabad is the same person here I am seeing now. Aduna, here in the present condition, sampradam means aduna at this point. So what is that which you have eliminated with reference to past and the present? Purva uttara desha kala vaishishtya amsha parityagena. Desha kala parityagena. Amsha parityagena. Vishishtamta parityagena. What is special in that particular time, space and various other conditions in which that person was seen before? Anugata vishishta vastu matra anusandanam. And what is undifferentiated? Undifferentiated, which was always there, whether it was then or now, that is called anugata vishishta vastu. Always present, which is exclusive. Anugata avishishta, Anugata avishishta, not exclusive, because not special, which is common, swabhavikam ityartha. What is natural, which is not exclusive, not connected to the conditions. So there in other place in Hyderabad, in the morning time and in a particular place, I have seen this person and all other things also, the dress that he was wearing or the complexion of his skin or the hair was there and all other things, and healthy, unhealthy, all those conditions. They are called Vishishta Amsha. Avishishta Amsha is same Devadatta. So anugata avishishta vastu matra anusandanam pratyabhijna. The point here is removing other aswabhika vastu and then taking only what is naturally be there unchanged at that time and now. What is unchanged? Always swabhavikam. That alone is taken up, and thereby you can say the same Devadatta there is seen here as now present in front of me. This is called pratyabhijna, recognition. So because he was not wearing the same dress, obviously not. And after so many years, obviously so many things have changed in that person. But don't we recognize, that is nothing but pratyabhijna. That's that word. In Kerala, many some signs are there. When I used to go to my village, my great-grandfather already would have said to everybody that the grandson is coming, great-grandson is coming. So nobody would not know me that I'm coming in this particular bus, I'm arriving. All right. So when before I enter into the main village, I go through the market place, and many of the people whom I know for a long time, because every summer we go there, so all of them know. So as soon as I walk away from the bus, from the tea shop onwards, only one thing they will say to me, ah, that's all. Meaning acknowledge that you have come and we know you. Then the one nod on the head and the sound ah will do. That means I know you, I know that you are coming, welcome. Everything is included, one nod and ah. Meaning that's what pratyabhijna. So here, removing aside all other things, what is common between that person whom I saw 10 years back at that time, at place, and with all other external conditions, is the same one who is here in front of me. So that's explained here in the next verse. Taddesha kala karadin. Desha kala kara. Avaduyanu yatekam vastanusyutam pratyabhijnanamatmanah. Taddesha-kala, that space and time, akara form, adin, etc., avaduya, removing, they are all anushankikan, incidental, situational. Not swabhavikan, anushankikan. Anushanka means incidental. It happened to be. Yat ekam, yata ekam vastu, but what is there which is ekam vastu anusyutam. Anusyutam is a very interesting word. Being there consistently. Anusyutam. Inherent. In hearing. Inherent. Pratyabhijnanam atmana. Whatever is yatekam vastu anusyutam pratyabhijnanam atmana pratyabhijnanam. That is called recognition of the self. So what is incidental is removed. And what is swabhavikam, natural, is acknowledged. That is what is called pratyabhijna. So you cannot, it's not a pramana, but at the same time it is a special sense. It is used as a way of knowing the self in its own nature, removing aside all the other conditions because of which it appears to have been shrouded, clouded, and manifested. We'll see more of it in the next class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkhabhat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.